Zhang Zongchang. Oh, Zhang Zongchang. For some, the most colorful, legendary, medieval and unchained ruler of modern China. For others, a universally detested monster whose ugly, bloated face was tinged with a livid hue induced by heavy opium smoking. To understand how we got to this point of disagreement, let's rewind a few years to 1881 and follow him from his first steps. We don't have time for this, let's speed this up. That's his family, and here is Zhang Zongchang robbing a kid. He got involved into petty crime in early ages. And let's proceed. Yada yada yada, then somehow he managed to command an army division and haha! This is where it becomes more interesting. One time he was invited for the Chang's Walin birthday, the Warlord of Manchuria, and he didn't show up. Not only that, while everyone went to the party and delivered the most expensive gifts, he simply gifted him with 2 empty baskets.
What?
Firstly, Walin was confused and annoyed about it, but he quickly understood the purpose of that gift.
Of course, I get it now. These empty baskets imply that he's a man willing to shoulder whatever heavy responsibilities I entrust him. Why are the presents so shitty?
Zongchang was later rewarded with a command position in his army, and turns out he was actually a pretty good general, to the point of being appointed the high position of Warlord only 3 years after.
Thank you so much, thank you.
Remember all that I said in the beginning about the opinions about him being very divergent? Yeah, it started around that time. From one side, he used to crush his prisoners' skulls with a sword.
Stop, please! Stop!
On the other hand, he was really sweet with her mother and took her wherever he went. But he also hanged dissidents from telephone poles. Contrarily, when he found out one of his officers was having sex with one of his 50 concubines, he forgave them and let them marry.
I now pronounce you man and wife.
See, maybe it was not that bad. Something similar happened when the Chinese prince was banging one of Zhang's many lovers. The difference was that instead of forgiving, he accidentally shot him from his hotel window while supposedly cleaning his gang. It's also worth noting that the youngest of his lovers was 14. And since some of them were from other countries and he was really bad with names, he called all of them by numbers.
Hey! Bring 14.
Yes, sir.
Not that many, I meant the 14.
I'm so sorry.
Do I look like I want to play with Legos? I asked for the number 14, goddammit!
Fortunately, he had this environmentally friendly side, refusing to drink any water except from the one that came from the Jinan River, and he preferred to drink the water directly from the stream. The downside was that he was regularly seen relieving himself in the same river.
I'm thirsty. Salty.
One time there was a drought that dried up the same river, so he went to the storm god to pray for rain. When he entered the temple, he went up to the statue and...
Your sister! How dare you make Jiangdong's people suffer by not giving us rain!
He then called his artilleryman and fired angrily into the sky. And turns out it actually rained the next day, giving him the nickname 72 Cannon Chang. He was also nicknamed the 3 Don't Knows, because he didn't know how large was his army, treasury, or how many concubines he had. I would also add a 4th one for not knowing how sports work. One day, while watching a basketball game for the first time, he made the following question.
Why the f*** are they fighting over a single ball? Are we seriously, Spore? Hey, you, give each one of them a ball. This is better.
Perhaps he was not the best at sports or mathematics, but if there was a thing he was good at, was poetry. Poem about bastards. You tell me to do this, he tells me to do that. You are all bastards, go f***
You mother!
Entitled. Someone asks me how many women I have, I really don't know either. Yesterday a boy called me that, I don't know who his mother is. Praying for rain. The sky god is also named Zhang. Why does he make life hard for me? If it doesn't rain in 3 days, I'll demolish your temple, then I'll have cannons bombard your mom! The last thing I wanted to learn about Zhang was his perception of promises and trust. One day before the battle, he promised that he would either come home victorious or in a coffin, and turns out he lost the battle, but he kinda kept what he said.
See? Never call me a liar again!
But the real coffin wasn't used much after. In his time as Warlord, he did some pretty brutal and atrocious things that turned him a lot of enemies. So it happened that one day, while leaving a train, he was shot and died. Supposedly by a murderer who wanted to revenge his uncle. Zhang Zongchang died at 51, in the same city as his favorite river. Don't forget to subscribe and to leave a like.